What's up, everyone? Welcome, episode 32. Meet the Press. Jared, I know, is exhausted coming back from Texas Forever.
Correct. I think I got like
Correct.
40 minutes of sleep last night. You
And you
know,
didn't, and
you
you
know when
haven't.
Elf when he's like,
Wait,
"How'd you sleep?" and it's like, "Great, I got a full 40 minutes."
I got a full 40 minutes.
That's how I feel right now.
But was it like hotel 40 minutes?
Yeah, yeah, because the game was lit. I probably got back to the hotel around midnight, I'd say. Then I probably left. I don't know. I left a couple hours, 2 or 3 hours later for the airport.
How are you? Are you a good hotel sleeper?
No,
Because I feel like in the biz you have to be. I don't know. I don't. It helps to be a good hotel sleeper, obviously, but I don't know. I'm not really either. I don't feel like.
oh no, I'm terrible at it. And also, I usually don't book high end hotels.
Right.
I'm a company man,
Right. Right. Yeah.
and so a lot of the beds that I sleep in or try to sleep in at hotels aren't great.
Right. Right. Man, dude, I did stay. What's the best hotel you stayed in?
It's probably in
Oh,
Hawaii.
it was probably in Hawaii. I
Yeah,
stayed once. I did stay once. At it was, I think it was State Track, maybe. Which is unfortunate because that's one that you're like gone all day long anyway. It's not
yeah.
like you can hop back to the hotel for a couple hours. And I stayed in the hotel attached to Rupp, and like outside of my window was the Rupp Arena sign. So that one was kind of cool.
I stayed
Um,
at one. I miss COVID travel because it was pretty much just me.
right,
Everything was easy to book.
right.
I went to Birmingham one time, and I stayed downtown, in like an old hotel there. I think it was like 14 or 15 floors. Stayed in the top floor of that. It was like $90 because it
That's
was
pretty high.
COVID and nobody was traveling. And they had like
I
a rooftop bar. And I was
Ooh,
like, that's pretty cool. I want to stay near the rooftop bar and be a cool guy. And then
was
I
it?
went and I was like, you know what, this isn't that fun. And then it
Oh,
was like 1 or 2 in the morning and I was lying in bed and the music was still bumping. And I was like, this was a little bit of a mistake.
that was yeah.
I have
I
made a
did.
terrible decision here.
I I will a lot of times. I'll Airbnb a lot of times. Um, and I won't hotel. But yeah, yeah, I feel like just in hotels, I hear everything.
Yeah.
Like I'm
Just
much more cognizant of, oh man, that door's super loud, 3 doors down. Like
yeah.
I'm much more aware of that, I feel like.
Are you an airplane sleeper?
No, I want to
Yeah.
be. Man, I want to be so bad. Like
Like
I just can't.
yeah, I couldn't for the longest time. But now I do it just because I don't get any other chance to really sleep
Yeah.
sometimes on some of these trips. Um, but it's not a good sleep because I'm like
No, it's a restless
it's like
sleep,
the
I feel
yeah,
like. Yeah.
the head nodding. I was I didn't even mean to fall asleep today. And that's how it kind of is for me on planes now. It's just we start taking off and I'm like that was a sleeping noise.
Is that what you sound like when you sleep? I was like, did you burp?
I was trying to like snore, but it didn't come out right. No, no, I was a little bit worried today. I was chewing on some gum and then I fell asleep.
Oh, oh, I
And
chew
I
on gum.
woke
I
up.
gotta chew on gum. I gotta chew on gum on a flight. Yeah.
Yeah. And like I woke up at one point, I was like, "Oh, I've got gum in my mouth." And I think I swallowed it, but then I fell right back asleep. And then I woke up the next time and it wasn't in my mouth. And I'm almost positive I swallowed it. Like I remember that. But there's a little part of me that's like, did that fall out of my mouth? And to make it worse, I was in the middle seat every single flight.
Oh man, somebody, dude, if somebody is like finds a piece of like a piece of gum like in their jacket, like in like, oh my gosh.
Man, do you like being in airports?
Yeah, actually, I do like airports.
I don't. It's like a
I do.
lawless place.
It is like a lawless place,
The
but
rules
like
of society just go out the window, man.
but I feel like yes, 100%. They go out the window. But I feel like most people adhere to them. It's not like, oh my gosh, who's going to get us the big bad airport bully? Like that's not like a thing that people think, but you just continue on with your business.
I think I don't mean like that. I think I mean more like the unspoken rules of society. Like I don't know. It's like you'll just be walking down the main aisle, like power walking to get to your next spot, and then the
Right.
people in front of you will be power walking, and then all of a sudden slam on the brakes, or someone will just cut you off out of another gate, is what they call them, I believe.
Yeah. Yeah. I guess I feel like I don't know. I do feel like airports have rules of their own, I guess. But I don't know if there's many things. This isn't like a segue, but like whenever you always see those beer rankings, like what beer tastes best, like, oh, after mowing the yard beer, shower
Oh,
beer, airport beer, woo, airport beer hits different. Airport beer hits different.
yeah, because I mean, there's time does not exist in airports
It
really.
doesn't. It doesn't.
So
No.
they open the bars there at like 3:30 a.m. or whenever they open security.
Yeah.
So you can get breakfast beers.
Yeah. Breakfast beers are great.
What other beers are you fans of? I'm not talking about brands. I'm talking about
Yeah, no, I
airport
got
beers.
you. I
I'm
got
talking
you.
about
Yeah.
shower beers.
Yeah, shower beers are great. Um, I don't mow my own lawn, so that's not a thing. I feel like going home and having like a bush light, that's a fun thing.
The after a long day beer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I have a peanut butter like stout in my fridge. I may have after this podcast.
I don't like peanut butter, so that doesn't sound good to me.
It's actually pretty good, but
I had one the other day. It was a blueberry cheesecake sour.
you sent me that. Was
It,
that
it
you said it was good? I
I
don't
don't know
think
if it was
that's true.
incredible or terrible. I want to say it was really good, but it was like kind of sweet, so you can only have so much of it.
Oh yeah, man. I can't do the super sweet. Like it hurts my tummy. Yeah.
Right. I like.
But I do like stouts. Like that's
Yeah.
and like that's my go-to usually.
I enjoy going to bars and watching games by myself and just kind of listening to everybody else's takes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fun. Yeah.
Yeah. And then they'll talk to me about it. Like there was one time I was back in Maysville. I had done a story on Andrew Benintendi. I had talked to him and stuff because his family was around that area.
Is that
And
a been attendee from Maysville?
no, his family's from Ripley, Ohio, which is right across the river.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Like his parents are from around that area. They were really good athletes.
I was gonna be like, that'd be crazy.
Yeah, I was at his mom's high school athletic Hall of Fame induction. So, but yeah, I did a story on him and how good his rookie year was and his roots to that area. And a couple days later, I was at the Applebee's bar in Maysville, and the Red Sox happened to be on TV. And this guy sees Andrew Benintendi, and it's just us at the bar. And he starts talking to me and like asks me like, "Hey, did you know his family's from here, from this and this and that?" I was like, "No, I didn't. No
No,
way.
man.
Really?" I didn't want to be like, "Yeah, I talked to him a couple of days ago."
Oh man, that would have been that was a good move on your part, actually.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
I like when they're like, "Do you like sports?" I'm like, could take them or
They're
leave 'em.
fine.
They're fine.
They're fine.
Did you watch any of the games this weekend?
I watched the SIU's game, obviously. But honestly, that's kind of it. I watched a little bit of Kentucky. Um, so we can go ahead and talk about that just long enough to say I'm telling you, man, if they don't win next week against Mississippi State, I don't think we talk about Kentucky again.
Yeah,
I mean, they're still ranked. Think about this. They're
What?
still ranked.
I didn't look
They're
at the
still,
rankings yet today.
yeah,
Like
they're
I
like
landed, I fell
20,
asleep.
like
They're
23, I think.
22nd.
22nd. You're 2 spots above Illinois.
Who have they beaten?
Well, Florida.
Florida's not ranked.
Well, I mean, Florida is Florida.
Oklahoma's Oklahoma.
You beat Miami, Ohio, right?
Youngstown
Youngstown.
State, Northern Illinois, maybe Miami, Ohio might have been the other.
Yeah. So you're 4-2. Is that right? 4-3.
4-2.
4-2. Yeah.
Yeah, because you lose to Ole Miss
And
and you
then
lose to South Carolina.
South Carolina. That's a toughie.
Yeah.
But
So I feel like the conversation we had the other week of has Kentucky taken that next step is in fact a no.
yeah, it's looking that way. And I think and again, if you don't beat Mississippi State, I don't know where that game is. I'm not gonna have you look that up. That's okay. But if you don't beat Mississippi State next week, then I think that's tough.
Yeah, it's at Kroger Field.
It's at Kroger Field. But yeah, man, swing your sword. So
Have you seen any of the great Mike Leach press conferences, or not press conferences, interviews this season?
I honestly haven't as much, oddly enough.
There was one a couple weeks ago where the reporter, like, she obviously had a good relationship with him. And is
Right.
getting married soon to a guy who from my understanding, works in sports media as well. And she asked if he had any advice, and he talked for like 3 or 4 minutes. Basically, the advice was to elope. It's like, just go away and do it.
Yeah, man.
I also saw another
Are
one.
you telling?
I don't know if it was
whoa. Are you telling me something?
No.
Okay. All right. I just want to make
say-
sure. I just want to make sure of that. That
There was another one I saw with, I think it was with Marty Smith, where he was talking about coffee, how he takes his coffee, and he takes it black, and he says he doesn't like it, but he just takes it black to like power through it instead of powering through it with just sugar.
That sounds like a Mike Leach thing.
Yeah, I love coffee though, so I didn't
Gosh,
really
dude.
enjoy that take as much.
Yeah, I like coffee as well. Yeah, man. Teaching last year, that made coffee like a necessity, honestly. Just because I work in sports, I don't have to do anything till like 4:00.
Right.
What are you watching?
I was just looking at the scores from yesterday, seeing if there was any games that we should talk about.
Was Alabama close? I feel like that one
Alabama was
was
close,
about.
yeah. Alabama, Texas A&M. I believe it went down to the last play. A&M had a shot in the red zone, and it was a play a lot of people were unhappy about. Some people
Did
thought
you
it was
see
interference. Some people didn't. I don't know. It just didn't work out.
to jump? Did you see today? Did you see that roughing the passer call on Brady?
Nope. I didn't get to watch much NFL.
Oh, okay.
They did have like live streaming you could do through your phone on the American Airlines wireless. So I did set that up on my phone a little bit, and then I fell asleep.
How? So you San Antonio to Nashville? Is that what the route?
No, San Antonio to Charlotte to Nashville was the route that I took back.
So Charlotte to Nashville. Okay.
I was going for the cheapest flight.
I was gonna say.
That's also why I left as early as I did.
Yeah.
I don't mind Charlotte though.
I know
Like,
you're a fan. You're a fan of Charlotte, I think.
Big Charlotte guy. The real Queen City.
Is that Baltimore?
Charlotte, Queen City. Cincinnati's Queen City. You get Meridian, Mississippi. They claim to be the Queen City. I think.
Is that not what Baltimore is?
I don't know. Is Baltimore the Queen City?
I don't know. Is Baltimore the Queen City?
Baltimore is the Charm City.
Charm City. Charm
Baltimore
City.
has been a city of many nicknames. The moth-eaten monumental city. The wishful city that reads. Yeah, I don't know
I
what
mean, it
else.
does say Queen City, but I think Charm City, because I'm gonna tell you why I know that. I'm gonna tell you why I know that. Are you ready?
Yes.
Duff Goldman. You know who Duff Goldman is?
Nope.
He's a baker. Duff Goldman is a baker
Oh yeah, I know who he is.
who had a bakery called Charm City Cakes.
Yeah, I think I've seen his cakes.
Yeah, they're pretty good. They're pretty good, I think.
Man, your Bills looked pretty good today, though, didn't they?
Oh man, I think, yeah, yeah. I'm gonna start. Yeah, I'm just gonna say yes. They're looking very good.
Mm-mm. I wouldn't take as much into this game.
I know, I
I'd
know.
still say they. Would you say that the favorite to win the Super Bowl at this point? Like that's kind of the hype they're building up.
I mean, that's the talk. I mean, I don't know how. I feel like that was the talk, obviously going into the Miami game, and then since the Miami game, I feel like it's almost taken a step back to Philly, rightfully so, at 5-0. I feel like Philly is in that talked about spot. Um, but just because they have to go through the NFC, I still think. I mean, yeah, I still think the Bills are going to win the Super Bowl.
I think the Broncos are going to win it all, man.
Yeah, I saw a story. I saw a story that said Seattle was like not getting it done because of like pieces, not enough pieces or whatever. And then they said, "Is Denver just telling us that Russ wasn't that good or something like that?" And I was like, "Ooh, that's a hot take."
Yeah.
Is he? Is he good? Oddly enough, that's the sound that you made earlier.
Yeah. I don't know.
That's a yeah.
But speaking of championships, have you watched any of the Major League Baseball postseason?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. I did. I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. Why? I'm not surprised. I said the Cardinals wouldn't play in another World Series until like with Mo is whatever he is. And then I saw a thing that said the Cardinals haven't won a postseason series in like 750 days. I understand it's like two postseason, but
Yeah. For a franchise like that, that's a long time.
yeah, and I mean, I was again. I know we've talked about 2011. I was there in 2011, Game 6, whatever, greatest game of all time. That was 11 years ago.
It was.
That was 11 years ago. You can't rest on something that happened 11 years ago. Yes, I've watched, but no, I didn't watch any today. I know the who is it? Mets and Padres. Is that what's on right now?
I have not watched any. I
Um,
legit got home, had some Shogun Express, and then took an accidental nap. And then I woke up in time to get ready to come and do this.
that's a good.
Dedicated
we-
to Meet the Press podcast.
I mean, yeah, I know the dedication. Um, Where does Western next week?
Middle Tennessee, so about
Are
an
you
hour
at
and a half
Murfreesboro?
away. What? Yeah, at Murfreesboro.
Oh, nice.
It's like it's not far, but when you drive there and back in the same day, it makes it a long day. As opposed to like when I'm on the road and like I stay the night before. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't mind Murfreesboro though. It's a nice little city. 100 miles of hate.
Is that what they call that rivalry?
Yeah, because it's 100
Oh,
miles between the schools.
I mean, I kind of
Yeah.
I put that together between.
Well, I was just making sure. I think that's one of the better rivalry names in sports.
Yeah, Red River Shootout. Now I'm trying to think of cool ones. The Battle of like Tobacco Road.
Yeah.
Isn't that like the?
Are there any that you hate that you just think are dumb?
Have you ever? I know we've talked about it. Like, have you covered anything like that? We've talked about that, right?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Um, I don't know. This goes into me like hating on stuff, but like,
I was trying to segue, trying to make it a very
um,
smooth transition there.
SEMO and Lindenwood started playing this year, and they have a. It's now called the Game Ball Brawl.
Why? You don't need a
I,
nickname. You like,
I get they wanted to go nautical theme, or I mean, they didn't want to go nautical theme because that's like what they have with us, like the War of the Wheel, World for the Wheel, whatever. Um, but I feel like you could have done something a little different than that.
I
But
feel
I
like
do think of the two,
is this their first time they've been like playing each other?
yeah. So Lindenwood just went up to D1. Like this is their first year in D1.
Right, right. But they didn't like play each other non-conference or anything like that before.
I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't
And I feel,
know.
and they're just forcing a nickname upon it.
I mean, maybe they're starting to make this like an annual thing.
But I feel like you have to let the nickname come.
I don't know.
It's
I'm
like
just
giving yourself a nickname. Like,
yeah.
yeah, I'm Jared, but they call me Jetpack or something
I
like
was literally gonna say
that.
jetpack. That's exactly what I was gonna say. That's exactly what I was gonna say. Man, that he lucked out. Like that's a cool nickname. That's probably the coolest nickname in the group.
Yeah. Did Did you ever have a nickname?
Not really. Did you ever have a nickname?
Yeah,
I
I got
mean,
called Jer Bear for a while.
oh,
Um,
oh,
also
okay.
Jerry Sprinkles.
Cherry sprinkles. Why is that? Are you gonna tell us why?
My freshman year of soccer, we were doing something, and I kicked a ball, and I kicked it hard. And one of the defenders, he was kind of a goofball. He's like, "Oh yeah, put some sprinkles on that thing." It's like Jerry
That's-
Sprinkles, and it just stuck.
well, I mean, yeah, okay. I get it. I get it. I don't know where to go from there.
What about? I feel like the transitions this episode aren't as smooth as they have been
I
in the
know.
past. I'm
I
so
do
like
think I
so
do think
tired.
of the to go up forward, I do think of the two of us, I do hate on more things.
Oh yeah, I don't
Yeah,
think that's a
I think
debate.
that's yeah, that's just something I've kind of always done. I don't know. I don't really feel like it's a. I mean, I get it, it's a thing, but like I don't know.
I feel like I'm more of a quiet hater,
Yeah,
like a
that's probably
closet
fair.
hater. Closet, like I don't
Yeah.
know. Like I try to be positive, but
Like
deep
you
down
text me
inside,
whenever
I
you like
hate.
you'll text me your hate stuff. Like you're not gonna post it on Twitter or something like that if something that happens.
Yeah, I'm not gonna say it in a podcast.
Yeah, you're not gonna say it in a podcast. Yeah, like anything like that. Yeah.
Gotta gotta keep that composure.
Do you want to hear? So, you want to hear something funny? So, I told you I'm looking into getting um house or a duplex in Carbondale, so I don't have to drive back and forth from here to Carbondale anymore. And I'm going to live with one of our new video people who is from England. I know, so it's going to be interesting. But we were FaceTiming the other night, and we were talking about like dumb city things, and I talked about Kentucky because Kentucky is an easy one to touch on. And I said, how would you pronounce this word? And I said Versailles. And he said, well, I would say Basai. And I'm like, yeah, man, that's not what we say here. And he goes, what do you say there? And I'm like, it's Versailles. And he goes, Versailles. And he goes, are they selling something? Versailles. He goes, is that for real? He goes, are you messing with? I'm like, no, that's like actually what it is.
Yeah.
And yeah, just so everybody knows, that's actually ridiculous, but whatever.
Okay. Yeah, so when I first moved to Kentucky, when I was in Maysville, we covered some
that
stuff.
was a nice little swing there, a little bit, Kentucky.
Dude, it has hit me hard. When I say Western Kentucky sometimes.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, there was a Versailles in Ohio too. And I did not know that's how you pronounce it. And I asked a coach about it because that's who they were going to play in like the state tournament.
Mhm.
He didn't like correct me or anything. He just said it as Versailles after that, and I was like, "Yep."
Isn't that funny how that happens?
Yeah, it took like
not to correct somebody, but you just like say it again, but you say it like that way.
Yeah.
Versailles, Ohio. Ooh, that doesn't. Versailles, Ohio. Oh my gosh, that sounds worse. It goes from here to here. It's amazing.
Yeah. That was kind of like Louisville for me too. When I moved here. Yeah, because when I moved here, I called it Louisville.
Oh no.
And then, after my first day of work, about halfway through, I was like, all right, let me just sound like a turkey call a little bit.
Louisville.
Yeah.
Louisville.
Yeah, not Louisville. Now when I go home and say that, everybody's always like...
So in Illinois, there's a Louisville, and there's also like one in... Yeah, it's a Louisville.
Have you ever seen the videos of people trying to pronounce Massachusetts towns?
No. Here, text me one.
Yeah. I'll hold on. Let me try to find your number. I've pulled up a list.
Is it Worcester?
Worcester.
Worcester.
Oh, hold on.
Worcester.
Oh man, there's so many good ones.
Worcester.
There's one. Whatever. I'll just tell you. I'm not gonna tell you. It looks like it would be pronounced Peabody. It's Peabody.
Peabody.
Yeah.
Peabody, Mass.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I miss Massachusetts.
And you know how you could get a taste of the homeland. You watch Good Will Hunting.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll get you your I don't know. What are they? Beans?
What are you talking about? That'll get you beans. What?
It's Beantown, like Beantown, Boston Beantown. Like I'm trying to think of like something that's regional. like that only like Boston area people eat. Is there anything?
Let me transition here. Speaking of eating, transition. I just saw a friend of the Meet the Press podcast, Bartley Weaver, competed
Oh, what's he eat now?
competed in the pumpkin pie eating contest today in Ohio, and he finished fourth with 10.75 pounds of pumpkin pie eaten in 8 minutes.
Stop it. Are you freaking kidding me? 10.75 pounds? And how
Yeah,
long?
8 minutes.
8 minutes? What's a pie weigh? What does a pie weigh? What's a
They
pie
had
weigh?
it all cut out by the slice.
But still, though,
It
how
looks like
much?
he was a late addition too. I saw he competed in something else not too long ago. I think he was in Cincinnati at their. Um,
It says like 3 to 4. Man, this thing can't be right. He was at
because he
what?
was on the he was on the podcast before the Nathan's famous hot dog eating contest.
Mm-hmm.
He joined us for that, and back in September, he tied for third, which I believe would be his best placement in a competition in the MLE circuit. Tied for third with Mickey Sudo, the number 3 ranked eater in the world at the October Cincinnati World Bratwurst Eating Championships, with 63.2 ounce Gleyer's brats eaten in 10 minutes. Can you imagine eating 60 brats in 10 minutes?
No.
Do you know who Mickey Sudo is?
No.
She's the woman that
Oh,
wins
yes, I do.
Women's Nathan's Famous
Yeah,
Hot Dog
okay.
Contest
Yeah.
every single year.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, like
I am with
that.
her. That's a big deal.
Yeah, I'm still hung up on the 10.75 pounds of pumpkin pie. That's a lot of pumpkin pie.
Yeah. I've never been
Pumpkin
crazy
pie is
about
what.
pumpkin pie.
Oh no, I like pumpkin pie. It's good.
I haven't had it in a while.
Well, about a month.
Are you talking about Thanksgiving?
Yes.
It's a holiday. We've talked about this. It's my Thanksgiving tradition to go to Cookout and then design pages at the office.
We'll get a pumpkin pie concrete or something, and just do that. But Cookout has one, and it'll be delicious. You already know that.
It's true.
I almost whipped into Culver's today and got a pumpkin pie concrete. Like I
I've never
may
been
go
to
somewhere
Culver's.
after this one and get a pumpkin pie concrete.
Never been to Culver's.
What? It's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, cheese curds. Cheese curds are good.
These fruits are good. He were to give out a prize pig award winner of the week, though. Transition.
You have yours
Anyway.
loaded up. So I think it only makes sense for you to go first.
Oh, I know. I was just trying to put the pressure on you.
No, I'm just gonna deflect.
This one might not. Yeah, this one might not be popular in the state of Kentucky. Might be popular in the city of Bowling Green, though. South Carolina, as we have talked about earlier on this podcast, came to Lexington and beat number 13, then number 13,
Then
Kentucky,
number 13.
24-14. That would be South Carolina defensive coordinator Clayton White's first game in the state of Kentucky since he served as Western Kentucky's defensive coordinator for 4 years. Holds the Cats to 14 points. And I know last year when they played Kentucky and South Carolina, their defense played a very strong game, but their offense was not great. But it's nice to see them, because I got to work with him, and I very much enjoyed working with him, and speaking with him over the course of a year or two. I'm happy for him. So that's why I'm giving Clayton White my shout out.
I'm gonna give mine. That's a good one, but you're right. That's not gonna be very popular. And you've gone against Bowling Green several times, by the way.
Oh, I know. I've picked like an FIU coach. I've picked
Yeah.
Rick Stockstill at one point. I picked John Calipari,
Yeah.
and then he said the stuff about Kentucky being a basketball school the next week.
Yeah. Yeah. How silly was that goose?
I mean, in hindsight, might not have been wrong.
I'm gonna give mine to a person who came back to Carbondale this past week. Had like a little. He was a guest at the basketball dinner Thursday, the men's basketball dinner Thursday. Bruce Weber, the creator of Floorburn U at SIU, got them to multiple NCAA tournaments, Sweet 16s. Like that was the team growing up. A bunch of those guys came back. Brian Mullins, the point guard of those teams, is now the head coach. He talked about his "I Still Hate Creighton" shirt, which did you know? Do you know like that was a thing in the Valley. It was like the SIU and Creighton didn't like each other, and so like SIU had shirts that said like "I still hate Creighton," and it had like H and the number 8, and it said "I still hate Creighton."
I did not know that.
Yeah, it was a thing, man.
Do you know where Bruce Weber got his coaching career started?
Purdue.
He was a GA for a brief stint at Western Kentucky.
Do you know? Do you know where Charlie Strong got his coaching career start?
Nope.
He was a GA at SIU.
Where's Charlie Strong now?
I don't know. Texas.
Is he?
I don't know. Where is he now?
No, I don't know. I was trying to figure out.
I don't know, man.
Co-defensive coordinator at Miami.
Oh. Ooh. Okay.
That's according to this Wikipedia article. I don't know the last time that was updated.
I mean, that's a pretty decent profile position.
Miami has not been.
No. Who'd they lose to the other day?
They lost to Middle Tennessee.
Oh, yeah, Middle Tennessee. Oh, yeah.
That was my prize pig.
Wait, is this the one with... Oh, no, it's at Middle Tennessee, so it's not the one with DJ Diesel.
No, that's the next week.
That's the next week. Oh, my gosh, it's going to be so much fun.
Maybe.
Are you gonna redo? Are we gonna get him on the podcast?
If I were to guess, I would say
no. Well, it's worth a shot. Well, Jared, I thank you for stopping by this week.
No problem. It's my podcast too, so.
That's true. That's a good point. That's a solid point. Well, everyone, we will see you next week.